Hi guys, this is a quick video about the recent OpenAI uh, agent going rogue and hacking into another company, breaking out of its sandbox and hacking into another company. Of course, it didn't go rogue in the sense that it's some kind of loose cannon or whatever. It essentially just fulfilled its goal. It performed exceptionally well, better than I'm sure that they were anticipating, and did things to achieve its goal in unexpected ways. It wasn't sort of thinking to deliberately to do that. It is essentially just getting the answer, basically, that it was set to get. Um, it is a little bit concerning, and I can imagine if you were running a business, thinking about deploying an agent in your business, or if you are a business that has an agent in your business, how that might be concerning and give you fears and so on and so forth about it doing a similar thing, causing all kinds of legal problems potentially. Um, but generally speaking, most of the models and most of the AI agent configurations will typically be, configured bespoke for a use case. They're generally going to be monitored and nurtured to achieve the goals in a proper way. And once that's done, and once the agent can demonstrate itself doing that, then it's okay, I think, to sort of step back. However, a caveat to that is the control of the agent. It is important that if you do have an agent, that you are maintaining control of it. And what I mean by that is not that the agent will get out of control. What I mean is that you are giving it the instructions, and you need to make sure that the other people who have access to give the agent instructions, if they have access, can be trusted, to make sure that there are guardrails in place that other people cannot access the model to give it instructions, or to access the agent to give it instructions. So that's how you have to maintain control of the agent. Once the agent is configured, and you sort of, your control walls are tight, then you can leave that agent running, and it will run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, doing whatever jobs and tasks that you have set it to do. So whether that is administration in your business, maybe managing databases, maybe it could be good heavens, all kinds of things. Financial management, it could be sending emails to people, reading emails, sending messages, text messages, potentially even calling people with the right configurations. Doing all kinds of things, even searching the internet, performing tasks on the internet for your business. If you were, for example, running an e-commerce business, it could be checking your competitors' pricing structure for their products if you sell similar products, to give you a competitive edge. And of course, these opportunities are open for your competitors as well. And that's important to note, because the first adopters of the AI agents will really be able to leverage the benefit of them. One thing that I kind of say is, like, the AI agents are like what websites were 20 years ago for businesses. So the first adopters were the businesses who managed not only to position themselves in that space, but to to boost their brand awareness, to boost their productivity, because it enabled all kinds of things. It enabled people to purchase things in an online space, so they didn't have to go into a store; they could buy online, and so on and so forth. And if you think about the leverage that some of the successful adopters of websites were able to to get from implementing the website, a similar thing is going to happen now with AI agents. It's the first movers, the first adopters, who will be able to reap the benefits and leverage the value that they can offer. And it is a lot because they're not incredibly expensive to run. They're extremely cost efficient and they are extremely capable, which is also been demonstrated by the OpenAI model going rogue. So capable that it sort of broke out of its own containment to do that. Now, with sort of different models, they have different capabilities. You don't need necessarily a super duper top of the range model for your business use case. You could be a small business, maybe let's say you're a plumbing firm and you've got 10 plumbers. Each plumber does, five to six jobs a day or something like that. You could have an AI that could take the customer inquiries, find out where the customer is, like what's their home address and so on and so forth, and write an itinerary, and then email that itinerary or message that itinerary to the drivers so that they find the fastest route around, right? Normally you would have someone in an office probably doing that, taking a lot of time to do it. The AI, be able to do that at 8 o'clock when everyone's left the office, and send out the itinerary for all of the 10 plumbers 8 o'clock Monday morning. So what that does, it actually, opens up a space and an opportunity for whoever would do that typically to spend their valuable time doing that, to be able to do something else, to focus on a different aspect of the business, to develop another aspect of the business. That's just one example. Another example is if you were running a business with 10 vans, you're going to be getting a lot of calls, a lot of queries. So an AI agent will be able to respond to those, right? Literally in real time, like talking to a normal human, and it will be able to act on the information that is given by somebody who's calling the business or somebody who's emailing as well. It can potentially take payments from potential customers. It can take the details, put it into a quotation program that provides a quotation, a rough quotation. I appreciate that you would need a plumber to see the environment, but that's another thing. If you had a plumber out on the job, they could essentially take a photograph, um, and say, oh, maybe we need this, so and so and so forth. Send it to the AI. The AI will, pop out an accurate quote with everything on it. So there's all that kind of stuff it can do. It can do administration, send invoicing, like literally all the kind of things that take so much time within the business. And they're just sort of like some applications. Then there's all kinds of other applications, internal administration for the business as well, that can be automated and run by the AI. And it's important to know that this is, like